Hello, friends. It's time to service the outboard engine for the dinghy. The first thing I want to show you is how I do it and where I set it up. This stand, I made it myself. This workbench. I simply bought the boot at a shop called B&Q, which is the closest thing we have around here to Leroy Merlin, the big DIY store. Back where I was born, we had Leroy Merlin. I've seen it in Spain, in Portugal, even in France, but not here. Here is B&Q, that's the closest we get. So I bought some timber, nails, and screws. And I just built this by eye, really. No plans or anything. Just something simple to hold the engine. It can stay here and I can place a bucket of water underneath for whenever I want to test it, alright? So now I'm going to mount the engine and we'll get started with the maintenance. Right, then here you have the engine of Marissa's, or should I say Marisin's thingy? I call it Marisin because Marisa was my mother's name, and my sister is also named Marisa, so we used to call my sister Marisin, and now I give the same name to the thingy. I hope she doesn't mind. So the first things we're going to divide this in two parts, the engine itself and the gearbox. First, I'm going to drain the oil from the gearbox. To do that, I'll unscrew these two bolts so all the oil can run out. Alright? Oh, that's the first step. Okay, I've set it up this high because it's quite heavy and this way I can work properly. See, I've loosened the bolts and now I can lower it. I can lower it carefully. No. Now I can take it off. Well, I have to remove this bit anyway, one way or another. You have a good color. I'm going to take off the propeller so I can work more comfortably. Come on. And careful with the pin, make sure it doesn't fall. And put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it. Now the next step is to disconnect this part here. Here we've got the anode, and I haven't seen any anode included in the kit. Maybe I should have ordered it separately. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Well, the anode is not in terrible shape. We'll put it back on for now. But I'll order a new one, since it didn't come with the kit. I thought everything would be included. Well, reinstall this one in the meantime. And now now we need to disconnect this part here. Now we need to disconnect this part here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this bit right here is what connects the get selector. Alright? Well, we need to take this out, and now it's free. There we go, it's starting to come out. There are a few pins in here. Right. It's off now. So the part we're going to work on next is there. We'll replace the impeller, alright? And give this a bit of a clean as well. And if you thought taking it out was tricky, wait until you see what it is like to put it back in. Oh well. Right. This is the part we need to remove. Inside here is the water pump, and here is this. Well, we're going to replace the gasket and the impeller. This is the bit that controls the gear. And this is where the water flows through. It's connected to a hose over there. That is why it's such a pain to put it back in. But we'll get it done. We'll get it back in. Use one last screw to go, and the pump is fully dismounted. Each screw has its own washer, so make sure none of them get lost. And there's another one. Every screw with its washer and its clover, as my brother-in-law call it. Watch out for the pin. Careful with the pin, it's just fallen. Can you see it there? The pin is tiny and very easy to lose, alright? Alright, that pin goes right there. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's already fallen. You have to be very careful with sticking this out. So this is the impeller that is still in good condition, but we're going to replace it. And the gasket. So new gasket. A new impeller. I want to bring the other one so we can install it in the same position. Alright? Look, now I can take it out, and I need to remember that this turns that way, right? That will be looking at it from here counterclockwise. Let's take it out. Alright then, counterclockwise. Remember that, Xavi. Bye bye. Alright, this is clean. Well, it is, more or less. Counterclockwise. And now we put the new gasket in. This part is done. The hardest thing is getting the pin in at the same time. Maybe clean a bit around here first, right? Before installing it. Alright, I'll show you the pin. I've got it stuck there with a little bit of oil, right? Now let's see if when lowering the pump it stays in place. You have to make sure it's in the correct position. Alright, let's see if we get lucky. Let's see if we are lucky, right? No, so far it's already followed once. Let's try again. Well, I install it now. Time to put the screws back in. I'll spare you that part. Alright, this is the hardest part of the engine maintenance. You have to make sure that when fitting the pieces together, the tube goes into the water intake and the gears also engage properly. Okay? Wish me luck. Okay, for the tube, I use this to help insert it. What I mean is the water tube, right? And even with the finger, very difficult. Now I still have to deal with the gears. I've set this one on forward, on this one to neutral to give myself more space. Then, when I fit it in, I'll put this one back into neutral and tighten everything. Right now I'm talking about this part down here. Not sure if you can see it. Well, it gone completely out. Well, nothing then. I had to resort to this. I had to resort to the string again to fish it out. And now I have it. I've got it here now. Let's place it back here. Try to center it. Give it a little bit push and I have it in neutral. Oh no. It didn't escape, right? No, it's still there. Now I can remove this and tighten it. Okay, let's check if it works. Let's see if it shows on camera. Does it? Alright, so if I switch to forward, it goes up. Let's go to neutral, it goes down. Forward, neutral. Here, this show rotate in neutral. Yes, okay. And here it should be harder because the motor is engaged. Yes. Now it's hard. Alright. Okay, we have it. We can close it now. We close it now and put the screws back in.
Porque uno quiere hacer las cosas, pero
Alright, let's put the propeller back on. The pin, I've got it. The pin goes here. Okay. I put it in neutral so I can turn it. Come on. Come on, Xavi. You got your hands full of fingers. Alright, I press it like this. Like this, it doesn't fall, okay? Okay. This propeller has seen its battles. Maybe it's time to buy a new one. It had its battles. Last year, in Lamlash and Copland Islands. Let's see if I bring an anchor this year in the tender, because the biggest problem is when you are in a very shallow water, right? And you have to live without the engine on, and then when you try to start it, of course there is current and the dinghy starts drifting away. And you are trying to start the engine and panic, and when you are in panic there is no way this will start, no way. No matter how much maintenance you've done. No, if you drop the anchor, you can stop coming, fix the engine, start it up, and you are good to go. It happened to us a couple of times with our anchor. You go off trying to find deeper water to lower the motor, and when you have enough deep, you try to start it, but the engine won't start and the dinghy is already drifting. It's already going with the tide. And here the tides, my goodness. Sometimes they're scary, sometimes not. Sometimes they have you. All right. All right, it's done. The next step, it's to add the oil. We'll push it this hole until it goes out that other hole. By oil, I mean the lubricant, okay? We are going to use this 80-90 SAE. You pour it into here until it comes out to the other side, and then we can seal it. We'll use this nozzle, this little nozzle here, okay? I'll hold it vertically and start lubricating from here until it comes out the top. Then I'll insert the first screw, so I'm going to prepare the washers. The new ones go on the left, and the old ones were on the right. I place this one like this, so it's ready to close. Then the other one too, ready to close. This ready to close here, and the screwdriver also ready. All right, let's go. It's starting to come out here. See it? You see it? Let's get a good skirt out, and we'll plug it here. Winter. He's behind me. Let's take this one out there. Let's take this one out here. No, it's not going anywhere. Just to be sure. To be sure, maybe we can add a bit more here. Hay que estar a tope. With that, we'll finish the lower part. Oh, no, we just need to install the anode. The anode. I'm taking off my gloves because I need to clean the tool so I'm able to tighten it a bit more. We are putting the anode back on. We didn't replace it because it was still in good condition. I could have installed it before putting the proper back on. Oh well. I think I got 10 millimeters branch.
Ahora sí,
I know, yes.
la parte
The
inferior.
lower part. Okay.
La parte
The lower part.
parte inferior
The
ya la
lower
tenemos
part
hecha.
is done. The lower part is done. Now let's move on to the upper part, the engine. This comes off like this. All right. All right. Now we have to drain the oil. Here's the cap. Okay, let's remove the oil. Let's see. Oh boy. Wow. It's really tight. It's really tight.
Pues está fuerte.
Ah. Hey, it may be stronger than me. All right. Come on. Let's go. All right.
Ahora sí.
All right. Here is the plug, and here is the spark plug. This spark plug isn't tightened much, because if you over tighten it, you can damage it. The spark plug is in good condition. We'll keep it as a backup. Let's install a new one. I'm not sure if you can see clearly. So this is hand tightened first.
Con la mano.
Then we give it a turn. It needs a bit more. I need one more. I mean, from here to here, it's a quarter turn, another quarter. Another quarter, so that's half a turn total. Just tighten it, and then half a turn with the branch. Because it already has a compression washer, right? That's it. I wouldn't tighten it anymore. Done. Now we install this back. We have
ya lo tenemos.
that done, and we're not doing anything else to this engine because it was running really well. Maybe next year we'll do the carburetor, because here, of course, it's hard to find ethanol-free fuel, so most likely the carburetor is already suffering some ethanol damage. But this year I have done enough maintenance. Let's check if the oil has finished draining.
Ya ha acabado de salir.
It looks good.
Tiene buen aspecto.
Then we'll put
Vamos
the
a
plug
poner el
back
tornillo de vuelta
in,
y a
fill the
rellenar
oil, and we are done.
y lo damos por
Just need
terminado.
to
Solo
test
falta
it now.
probarlo. La arandelita,
The leader washer comes new as well,
cambiamos la
so we are changing the washer too.
y lo voy a apretar.
And then I tighten it, but not like before, not like crazy. Maybe not that much,
Apretamos un poco
just a little bit.
y ya.
And that's it, done.
Venga, vamos a echar
All right,
el
let's
aceite y lo miramos
pour
aquí
in the oil and check the level here,
la
okay?
cámara mejor.
Let's move the camera so you can see better.
Echamos el aceite que venía.
We're using the oil that came with the kit.
Bueno,
Okay,
ahora está al máximo.
and now it's at the max level.
¿Cómo estamos de gasolina?
Or are we on fuel?
Secos,
Bone dry, completely dry.
Voy a probarlo.
So we won't be able to test it today. No, well, maybe
Qué lástima. Algo hay.
maybe a little bit.
Algo hay.
Let's see how it
A
goes.
ver qué tal va.
Well, as you can see, the engine mount is designed to let you place a bucket of water. So unless we can start it, you can't not do much with it, but unless we can fire it up. So let's give it a try. Please, don't laugh at me, okay? Be kind. Okay, start, neutral, fuel on this way. Okay, on this way. Let's go.
Hay que abrir esto también. Esto está bien.
Well, I did a bit of research, look it up online, and it seems it works better if you actually put fuel in the tank. Who would have saw that? I thought it had some, but no, it wasn't reaching. There was a bit in there, but not enough to get to the carburetor. So now we added some. Let's see. It'll take a moment because everything was dry, but let's see if it works. Look at that, fantastic! You can see there is plenty of water flow. So it's ready for the session. Alright? Running perfectly.
Funcionando perfectamente.
See what I use this for? To hold the bucket.
Para poner el balde.
And with this setup, I can test it just fine.
Puedo probar perfectamente.
No, I'll put it in gear. And it was in gear too.
Ahora está
The propeller is spinning now. I'll stop it now because it's not good to let the spin with so little water. But great, no issues at all. No problems. It doesn't stall. Oh, alright, let's shut it down. I close the fuel valve so the engine stops by itself. As you can see, the oil is at the right. I closed the valve. I closed the valve so the carburetor empties out and no fuel is left inside. So it stops by itself and no fuel left inside the carburetor. Okay, I'll give it a bit. It should stop soon. The gas in the full line lasts quite a while. Maybe the valve isn't closing fully. That's it. Stop it. Perfect. Thanks again, friends, for following us in this episode of Marisa. I hope you were entertained and enjoy it. If so, please, before you go, remember to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. I hope to see you very soon on our next adventures. We're planning to sail out to get to Kirkpatrick and maybe head to the Isle of Man to see the TT races. See you soon, friends. The girl from the liquor store. How can a man ever ask for more? She has the key to all the booze. It's a win-win, I can't lose. She made a mark on me, that's for sure. The girl from the liquor store.